Hey, what's up everybody? Josh Bennett here. In this video, we're going to talk about ESPPs, or Employer Stock Purchase Plans. So, Employer Stock Purchase Plans are a plan through your employer, as the name suggests, to purchase stock. Again, as the name suggests. So, how does an Employer Stock Purchase Plan work? Well, basically, it's pretty simple. So, if a company has this as an option, basically what they'll do is they'll, give you the means to sign up for it. You sign up, and then depending on the account, every ESPP has, slightly different stipulations for how it works. But in a nutshell, and we use kind of hypothetical scenarios here, but let's say I sign up for my company's ESPP. Well, there is a start date to that ESPP. So, for example, that may be the date that they start taking money out of my paycheck to do it. So let's say January 1st is the start date of my, enroll in my ESPP. It starts withdrawing on January 1st. Well, then there's going to be a purchase period. So what happens is you then will basically have money taken out of your paycheck for the sole purpose of buying stock. So you'll sign up for the plan. They'll start taking money out. It's not going to go directly into stock all at once, but let's say my time frame is 6 months. Well, they're going to start January 1st. They're going to, every pay period take a little bit out, and it's going to go to that employee stock purchase plan, and it kind of goes into an escrow type savings account. And then they may say on 6 months, that's where we're going to take all the savings that has accrued over that 6 months, and we're going to purchase that stock. So let's say over that 6 months, I accrued $5,000. Then on the 6 month mark, they would go and buy $5,000 worth the employer stock. So in a nutshell, that's what an ESPP plan is. It's basically a savings account that through your employer to buy the stock of the company that you work for. Well, you may be asking yourself, why would I sign up for an ESPP when I can just go buy the company stock on the open market? Fair question. But basically the reason companies incentivize you to do this is, one, you won't get in trouble, especially if you're an insider and buying the stock outside of work can be a no-no. But also, employers will incentivize you to use the ESPP by providing you a discount. So a common discount is, say, 15% off the stock price. And they may say, it's 15% off that 6 month mark. They may say it's 15% off the lowest between, the first day in that 6 month mark, or they may say lowest of the average, etc. But long story short, they provide a discount off of a certain price. So let's say my discount is off of that 6 month day. So, for example, let's say my stock is worth $5. And again, it was $5,000. So I'm going to buy 1,000 shares of my company stock. But wait, because I have a 15% discount, I'm actually getting, I can't do the mental math, but I'm getting more than 1,000. I'm getting like, 1,250 or something. Again, can't do the mental math, but so I'm getting like 1,000 plus shares because I get that 15% discount. Well, the nice thing is then I got that 15% discount, so that's an automatic 15% return from the day I get that stock. Well, here's where, again, it gets really interesting. You can do a couple things. You can hold that stock, and especially if you have faith in your company and you think it's going to do well over the course of, say, the next year. Well, if you hold it for a year, you can get long-term capital gains on that 15% growth, or that 15% plus, or any gains that come, from the day that it was granted to you. You get capital gains tax, which is a much more favorable rate than, income tax. So that's one thing, is you can hold the stock, one for a year. You can hold it in perpetuity. You can do whatever you want with the actual stock, or you can sell it. You can sell it at any point. You can wait for it to run up. Say my $5 turns into $10. I'm like, all right, I'm out. I'm gonna take my 100% returns and go. Taxes be darned. I'm gonna get my money. So you could go that route. A really interesting route, though, to go with an ESPP is, so you buy the company stock at a 15% discount. So I could sell it that same day or within the next day, as long as the employer allows. There could be what are called blackout periods where you're not allowed to sell. But if the employer allows, I could sell that stock the same day or the next day from when I acquire it. And here's where it gets interesting. I have a 15% gain already. Well, if I sell it, I'll owe some taxes. Let's call it, a high tax. Let's call it 30-40%. So of my $15, or of my 15%, I now have a 10% return. So I can take that 10% return after paying taxes. I can take that, and I can take it essentially risk-free, because I only was subject to market risk for about a day. And so basically I had 6 months of savings that I got a 10% return on, which, I guarantee you can't find a bank, especially today, that's going to give you a 10% return on your cash. So you're essentially getting risk-free savings for 6 months or risk-free return for 6 months worth of saving. That is pretty incredible. So then you can take that same amount of money and then go diversify it into other investments, or if you have a specific goal that you're trying to save up for, you can go just spend it. But you get 10% return risk-free, and then you can go spread out your risk with more reasonable investments instead of being all in one company. So it's a pretty cool thing that you can do. Again, if you think if the company has high prospects, you could also do like half that. So even if you sold only half your shares and on paper caught let's say a 5% return. Well, 5% return is still a great return on, considering cash would pay you right now about 0.1%. So still getting significantly more than your cash is going to get you anywhere else, at least as of today. So again, it's an ESPP, just an account that basically allows you, or a plan that allows you to buy stock through your employer in the employer's company, or your employer stock. But there's a lot of interesting things you can do from a just investment perspective with an ESPP. The thing to remember though is an ESPP, you don't get any necessarily tax benefits, so it does come out after taxes in your paycheck. So if you made $100,000, let's say 20 taken out for tax, so now you have $80,000 of take-home pay. If you were contributing to another account like 401k, you may have say $70,000 take-home pay. So anything that you contribute to that ESPP does come out of that $70,000 take-home pay. So just something to keep in the back of your mind, that you want to make sure that if you do contribute to an ESPP, that you're not going to put yourself in a cash flow bind elsewhere. You want to make sure you can afford to contribute. But if you were planning on saving money anyways and saving into a bank account, this could be a more efficient way to save, because you get more bang for your buck than you're going to get with a savings account. But anyways, hope you found this video valuable. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe, because we teach more educational videos around personal finance and things that you should have learned in high school. But until next time, cheers.